Hi, I'm Bill Russell. I'm a painter, illustrator, and designer. I'm going to show you some work today. I'm here in the Bay Area of San Francisco. My life, my career as an artist began in a small town in Canada. I had a high school art teacher told me to go to New York, go to Parsons School of Design. That's exactly what I did. After graduating Parsons, I developed my style as an illustrator. I primarily used an illustration medium called scratchboard. It's a clay surface that you ink and you etch into with knives. It's a very graphic medium, very detailed. For instance, this first example for a magazine called Wigwag, an Alice Hoffman story, you can see the detail I can get out of this material. And here's another illustration, part of the same series. I did that for 30 years. And I've since moved into the iPad and created a digital version of Scratchboard. So my career as an illustrator took a bit of a turn. I became more of a painter. In the last 10 years, I would say, I've been painting on canvas and doing abstractions like this piece in gold and black. Almost the antithesis of illustration. Lyrical, a kind of mid-century modern quality, comes out of listening to jazz music. I pulled back from these abstract pieces to be more painterly, more empathetic, to tell a story through paint. The Paradise Fire of 2017 had me drawing these frontline workers and firefighters, these existential landscapes that were the content for a series of paintings. And you could see here my process and how I felt these stories needed to be told. I'm inspired by nature. After these fireworks pieces, I found the forms in succulents and in flowers in 19th century Dutch painting, in the work of British designer William Morris, a way of merging abstraction with the narrative. They have a sorrowful resonance for me, but for a lot of people, they're beautiful and joyous, like this lyrical piece that kind of suggests dance. For this utility box commission in Dublin, California, I incorporated these floral forms. It was really well received by the community, the imagery beautiful and accessible. The story of my latest painting is more overtly political with an ecological theme. It's called The Deluge. It began from a trip to New Zealand, drawing beautiful aged cliffs in the mist. I often look for inspiration in the work of famous artists, like this energetic sky in a Joseph Turner painting, a seascape by Winslow Homer, Claude Monet's Impression Sunset, and The Raft of the Medusa by Theodore Géricault. The essential story I'd like to tell is climate change and how sea levels are rising and submerging many artifacts of our culture in the sea. With a 36 square canvas on my studio wall, I'm adding acrylic washes of Naples yellow and raw umber. Some of the iconic and perilous metaphors I show in my narrative include a fellow thrown overboard near a sea mine, plastic bottles floating in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, the mythic sea kraken monster, and 3 sirens luring sailors to their doom. This is Noah's Ark, offering some possible method of survival for us all, and a reference to Géricault's raft. These days we all seem adrift. Here's the final painting of The Deluge. With obvious and not so obvious iconography floating in the sea. With a scattering of icebergs from the melting ice cap. The sun bears down through our depleted atmosphere. Thank you for letting me tell my story. To learn more about my work, visit my website.